Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest, episode number 106, the I can't believe all this stuff is coming out soon edition. When waiting for all that cool stuff edition. Edition.
So many games.
So many. This week is packed, man. Really packed. We have tomorrow, we have Greek Memories of Azur coming out.
What type of game is that?
It's a hand-drawn puzzle platformer action fantasy.
It's really cool.
Wow.
Boy, that's a lot of descriptors.
Sounds like a great Switch game.
You can download the demo right now, by the way. So if you can play it on Steam right now and see what you think about it. Eric's has played it.
It's got some really cool mechanics in it. Like because you basically there's three characters you can play as. One of them is called Greek. The other one are like the siblings. So and they all have different sort of behaviors and properties. So the standard guy has got like a sword and he's quite agile. He's got like a double jump. You've then got the sister who's got like a floaty jump and then magic projectiles. And later on you have the older brother who's got like a shield. So obviously as you're working through the game, you can just seamlessly switch between them, assuming you've unlocked them. And then you can and that means when you do the puzzle solving stuff, sometimes you'll need to like part different ways or have one of them like open a door and things. So you've kind of got I really like these kind of games. We've had like a lot of those sort of roguelites recently where it's a lot more like fast paced action, side scrolling, like just like, run through it as fast as you can. Whereas this has definitely kind of got that combat element to it, but then you've also sort of got some of the puzzle solving stuff. So maybe I'd sort of liken it more to sort of like Owlboy or things like that if you guys played anything like that. But yeah, it's really, really good. Like I love the visual style for it.
Cool.
So I've been
very much forward to it. It's hand drawn, and anytime I see hand drawn on anything, I'm like, oh man, it makes me want to at least get in there and see what it looks like.
I'm kind of a sucker for that too.
Yeah. Hand drawn. I'm like, ooh. That gives you 2 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing against 3D modeled art. Like, it can look fantastic, but there's something about hand-drawn art that really just, I don't know, it just draws my eye in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So that's coming out tomorrow. I don't know where it's coming out besides Steam.
It's on the Switch.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Switch, right? Awesome. It's getting a Switch release. That's a Switch game for me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because I saw that in the pre-order stuff. I was actually looking at last night at the pre-order stuff, and I saw that game. I was like, looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty good.
It's coming out tomorrow. Wow.
And then later this week we have 12 Minutes coming out on the 19th, which is Thursday.
This is that top-down looking game, right?
Yeah.
You're in an apartment and you keep repeating it to try to
Yeah, exactly. It's the and so I got an email from people who are doing like, oh, you can play it now and do reviews. Of course, I can't stream it, so I don't play it right now. And part of it was like, if you get stuck, feel free to email us. And I was like, oh no.
Wow.
Because like the whole thing is you're trying to like investigate this murder, right? You're trying to figure out what happened and ultimately, I assume, trying to stop it. So maybe there's a point in the loop where you're like, I can't see the next thing to like solve this part of the mystery. But it looks really cool. Really interesting concept of going through, and they describe it as a thriller, going through this thing over and over again and trying to change the past. And they have some crazy voice talent in here.
Yeah,
really?
Right.
Got Daisy Ridley in there.
Amazing.
Which I was like, whoa. And there was an article that I wanted to read over the weekend that was they described it as how this little indie game managed to get like A+ S* voice.
Yeah, she's not the only one. There's like a bunch of really like big
there are a
actors in
bunch. Let me see if I can find all of them.
I think William Dafoe's one of them.
Yes.
Yes.
William Dafoe's in it?
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's gonna be really exciting because obviously it's gonna be a really cool experience. Oh, it's also got James McAvoy in it.
Never heard of him.
Well, Briar,
Wow.
let me tell
This
you
is
what he was
amazing.
in.
Movies.
Who doesn't know? Split, X-Men,
Not ringing a bell.
Shameless.
Never seen those.
No idea.
No.
Never
Heard
heard of any of these things. Not a fluke.
We don't watch movies here on DCP.
True.
Oh, he was only in this little thing called the Avengers. That's weird.
What?
When did they first show this Avengers? What are they avenging?
Yeah.
12 minutes. You're avenging 12 minutes.
When did they first show 12 minutes? It was at E3, right? Was it last year or was it the year before?
I feel like it was last year.
Because I feel like
this
game has been. This game grabbed a lot of people's attention, but I think due to the nature of it, they don't show a lot of it, right? They kind of want to keep the narrative pretty tight-lipped because it looks like the narrative is going to be a lot of like why you play it or why you replay it. A lot of the replayability will come from the narrative.
Yeah, exploration, discovery.
Definitely that. Kind of, I think it's kind of hard to show like a murdery mystery thriller kind of puzzle solving detective game with really good narrative off in a trailer because it's like, what do you show?
Yeah, it doesn't lend itself like an action game would with big explosions and stuff, but it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the puzzle solving is like the thing that's going to be exciting about it, and you can't really show that. You can't be like, here's how all these puzzles are solved on like a demo, you know?
And apparently the first time it was ever shown was in 2015 at PAX East.
2015? Oh, wow. Holy crap, I had no idea.
So that's a long time. Yeah,
I
think
have
a lot of us
conception of what time it is anymore.
Me neither.
Nice, so true.
I mean, I was only playing Destiny in 2015.
So that's exciting. The 19th, and that is the day before Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island.
Oh my god!
Out on Friday.
Probably won't play that, huh?
Man.
Probably gonna let that snooze for a
You're
while.
You're gonna let that one sit, you just don't need to jump in right away.
I gotta make sure. Are they doing a physical edition of Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, you can buy the
PS5
again.
Yeah,
nice.
I want to do that.
That
one needs to be sitting on the shelf, I think.
I have been extremely excited to jump back in and also play on the PS5 because when I saw how well it played on the PS5 without even the updates, I was like, man, you could totally do another playthrough of Ghost on this because it would be nice, right? And I was like, no, I don't have enough time for any of that. I need to, like, schedule my
Tefty.
Sensible Tefty was kicking in, be like, stop it,
time management.
Yeah. And then this gets announced, and now it's like basically this week, and I'm like, oh boy, let's just throw out the schedule completely.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I almost kind of want to jump back in like a day before because I know I'm going to get like, when you have to reacclimatize yourself to the combat. Like I feel like towards because I think back to my Tsushima experience, like when I was first playing, like getting everything sort of the flow down took a little while, so I kept some sort of but then towards the end of it, I was a boss. I was like killing everything, and I know that I'm gonna go back in and just get destroyed for the first like hour. So I feel like I need a warm up.
They're doing the difficulty.
They said they were going to add legends too, right? To this, there's going to be more legends content.
Yeah, there's new map, new mode. Gambit is coming to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep,
it's pretty much Gambit. It's pretty much Gambit.
When are we playing this?
Yeah,
that comes 2 weeks after. I think that comes September the 6th, give or take, something like that.
Okay.
September.
Well, we need to get together and do some Legends content. That's
yeah. Do you guys want to get together and play some Gambit to get ready for some Gambit?
I do.
No, wait, hold on. I feel like you're trying to trick me into playing Gambit.
Trick? More like bless you with some Gambit.
Did you guys happen to watch the Indie Showcase, Nintendo's Indie Showcase?
I did.
Yes.
I did indeed.
I did not.
I thought there was some pretty interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
One of which was actually Verge, actually released, right? Did we talk about this last week? I don't think we did.
Axiom Verge?
Of course we didn't. Yeah, Axiom Verge 2 was released.
They just threw it out there.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was like, I played Axiom Verge, the first one, enjoyed it, obviously. And then suddenly 2 came out, and I was like, do I need to drop everything and play this right now? I was this close.
Yeah. It's been getting pretty good reviews. I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's funny is they released it on the Nintendo Switch like 3 hours before they released it on every other platform. So at first, it looked like it was going to be a Switch exclusive, or at least a time Switch exclusive, which it may have been, but only for like a couple hours.
Hilarious. Wow.
Also, they showed Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Did you guys see this one? This is the one that looks exactly like Jet Grind Radio or Jet Grind Radio.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like that game. And if you're a fan of this game, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's not coming out until 2022.
True. They should have Garden Party, which looks. Oh, is it called Garden Party? Like the little sort of like top down, basically like Zelda / Moonlighter, but in like a friendly sort of garden environment, and then you run around and have to like rescue the people from the
Nice.
not the purge, the infestation. But it looks cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, visually very, very intriguing.
Yeah, they showed a little more Metal Slug Tactics, which looks good. At first, when I saw Metal Slug Tactics, I was like, why are they making a Metal Slug game that's not like a Contra-like game, which is what I want. But the more I look at this game, I'm like, actually, I'm kind of interested in this.
Actually, okay.
Nice.
Fine.
Right. You got me.
But they then ended it with the best thing.
Oh,
They
yeah?
gave us a release date for Eastward, which looks so good. You seen that one?
I have seen it.
I'm not familiar with that. What's that?
That was the very end of the showcase. That is Chucklefish are publishing it. It's been in development for quite some time. The visual style for it is incredible. I know you'll definitely like that one a lot.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, how do I describe it? It's kind of sort of one of those top-down Zelda-esque sort of explore the world, but you've got kind of like this. I'm guessing it's like your daughter who's got special powers, and then you've got the guy you roam around, and so you kind of like roam the world together, puzzle solve, explore. There's like cool weapons and stuff. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this game, but it's very, very cool. Like it just looks awesome. And I think it's been in development for quite some time now. So yeah, the fact that we've got a release date, which I believe is September the 16th, if I remember correctly, or thereabouts, give or take.
Cool.
Apparently, they describe it as an upcoming pixel art adventure game. So
there you go.
There you go. That's
like
it.
that.
Although, and adventure games can include so many different types of games.
Yeah,
it's so hard to know.
I do love a good
maybe
adventure,
they
though.
have a-
Yeah.
It looks
The
like
visual
it's gonna
style of this game is what makes it stand out so much to me. It's like it's got the hand-drawn pixel art, but it's also kind of got this like pastel palette to it that and it's very densely populated. Like it's there's a lot of stuff going on the screen all the time. It looks really cool.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's actually you can purchase it on Steam for $22.49.
But I want it on Switch.
Yeah.
It's the same price on Switch actually, $22.49.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice.
good.
Cool.
It says I can read a little bit from the little blurb on the Steam page so we can get a better idea. In the near future, society is starting to collapse and the human population is at an all-time low. A deadly toxic presence.
You're reading the New York Times.
I'm just reading the news in general. This is just the news. A toxic, did I read that? A toxic, deadly presence has spread across the land, destroying and devouring everything in its path. Those who could escape the miasma flock to underground villages to start a new life. I do like underground villages. That's cool.
Yeah, mole people.
Yeah, love that. Mole people. Tafty does like being a mole.
Monty Mole, what can I say?
Makes sense for an art. You have to escape the tyrannical clutches of Sandfill's subterranean society and join Eastwood's unlikely duo on an exciting adventure to the land above. So it looks like you're trying to go up to...
Feifel goes east in the apocalypse?
East, but up, where there's toxic things. Apparently, it contains adult humor. So I'm excited for that.
That's my favorite kind of adult.
Nice. That's great.
That looks good.
I've
been playing a couple of games that I'd like to talk about.
Oh yeah, what you been playing?
Yeah, one of them
Street
is
Fighter
the demo.
5.
Have you been playing Boyfriend Dungeon, Briar? Have you been romancing people?
I have been playing Street Fighter 5 because 2 new characters are out, but I'm not going to talk about it. What I actually want to talk about is the Windjammers demo that came out on the PlayStation recently.
Okay.
The Windjammers 2 specifically is like the sequel to a game on the Neo Geo that came out in, I don't know, 1912 or so, a while back. It's a super
around the First
super old
World
game,
War.
The game is funny. It centers on like an overhead perspective, 2 people playing like some kind of dodgeball-esque frisbee game where you have to throw the frisbee past your opponent to score on a goal. All right. And like you play in like kind of a tennis court, volleyball court setup. It's kind of the Neo Geo version was kind of fun because, you know, obviously you're standing right next to the person you're playing against. at a Neo Geo cabinet, like at the arcade.
Right.
In Windjammers 2, there's online play, and the only thing that's in the demo is online play. So there's no tutorial, there's no story, there's no kind of setup. Like there's one button you can click on that shows you what the buttons do, which is like, a lob, a toss, how to do a special move, and how to like curve the frisbee. Other than that, it's not really well explained. So it's a little bit of it's kind of hard to get the feel of it because your first experience like catching and throwing the frisbee is actually playing against another player online. So it's kind of a tough learning curve. Like, and for that reason, I don't know if this is the best way to beta or to demo a game is by only showing online for like systems that are like specific to your game.
True.
That being said, I played for a few hours and I was having a lot of fun. It's not. It's kind of a simple looking game. Like the graphics are nice and all that, but it's got to be somewhat clear to see what you're doing. So like the ground can't be that complicated graphically because you got to be able to see where the frisbee is. You got to see the path it's on. The characters are all kind of fun and quirky. I think they give you a selection of 4 characters in the beta. And I was having a lot of fun with it. It's got a cool style. It's got a cool feel to it. And it definitely feels like something I'd like to mess around with more when the game comes out.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
Sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
I mean, because I remember when they first showed it, and I just because I'd never played like the original or anything like that, so I didn't really have any sort of particular sort of attachment to it. But it's cool that they bring it. It's cool. I do always like it when they do kind of bring back like really old series though. So I hope it does get that sort of attention because I think more than anything, I hope those sort of things get the attention they deserve because then it kind of incentivizes people to do more of that stuff and bring back other stuff. So. Yeah,
it's an odd choice, right, to bring back because like who's ever heard of Windjammers? Nobody. It's not like it was on the NES or the Super Nintendo or the Genesis or something. It was on the Neo Geo, and it was a sports game on the Neo Geo where everybody knows the Neo Geo for all the fighting games, all the
Samurai Showdown
fighting and all that. Samurai Showdown, sure. So it's a weird choice, but it's I was having fun in the demo. It's a tough learning curve because you really got to get used to like what buttons do what, and there is no tutorial, there is no story mode to kind of get you into it. And it does this like ranking system where every win and loss, like you rank up or rank down based on every win and loss. So it's like it feels really unforgiving. You don't want to lose at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
I was
for
having
the
fun
true
with the
gamers.
demo.
The true tryhards.
Real gamers play Windjammers.
True.
And then it's kind of funny because similar to that, a game came out on Game Pass called Dodgeball Academia.
I
heard that one.
Very anime.
So I guess it's kind of anime. I mean, what attracted me to it was my love for the NES game Dodgeball, right? Super Dodgeball. Yes, my deep love for all things anime. This game is kind of weird. It plays like a dodgeball game from the 8-bit or 16-bit era, right? Where
that's cool.
You got 2 sides, you got teams, and you're just playing some dodgeball, right? With an overhead kind of 3/4 perspective. But it also has this like RPG aspect, which I gotta tell you is a massive turn off. Like there is
for dodgeball
much talking in this dodgeball game.
Okay. Like, is there skill trees?
I did make it far enough to find out if there's skill trees. It was just like you start up this game and you immediately go and stand in a crowd and like listen to a lecture. And it's probably 20 minutes before you pick up a dodgeball and start tossing it at people.
20 minutes.
Right? And then
sounds very anime.
Game.
It sounds like an anime.
One game. Yeah, it does sound anime. You play one game of dodgeball, which was super fun. Like I was loving the mechanics of dodgeball. Like you could jump in the air, you got special moves, you're tossing the ball, you got health bars, you can pass the ball between your teammates. Oh yeah, man, that's dodgeball.
The death spike.
But then I play one game and I'm having a blast, and then boom, I'm back to now I got to explore like this dodgeball school.
Oh no.
Oh.
Maybe you need to.
And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I got out of there and I'm like, okay, is there just a mode where I can play some fucking dodgeball? And there is, where you can just do like a matches, like you can just do a versus against like you just select the teams. But man, the dodgeball is super fun. But I was not digging
well, maybe you find
the story mode at all.
maybe explore the school and like discover the golden jockstrap, which unlocks like extra power in your dodgeball moves.
I'm sure that's what it is, right? I'm positive that you're correct. I mean, except for the golden jockstrap, that's probably not in there specifically. But
DLC.
I'm sure that you learn power ups and you like become a better dodgeball player through study. But man, nothing anybody was saying was interesting to me at all.
It's like some dodgeball
itself,
drama.
Yeah. And like
Is
they're
there
trying
like
to set up a
is there an
rival
arcade mode instead of a story mode? Yeah,
there is.
Okay.
And
You might just have to completely ignore the story.
Yeah. It would have been nicer if they just did like quick, like 30-second cutscenes between the matches, so just to give you context,
like
to what you're
Streets,
doing.
like Streets of Rage. You know, imagine if Streets of Rage had like a 20-minute exposition as to why you're going on the streets to fight.
Yes,
You'd be like, I just want to punch someone.
Yeah, I do wonder sometimes when games do that, because I think I get, right, if you're sinking into like a deep story game, I get that sometimes you want to sort of set the scene. Although to be fair, even in big deep story games, I kind of don't want to have to sit through 20 minutes before I can even like control my character. Even in like the most epic of stories, like I want to start playing relatively
even
soon.
in role playing games, like it annoys me when it's like 30 minutes of exposition before I get to like kill my first rat.
Yeah. I mean, I like they do that in some of like the JRPGs. And I know it's like it's just the dumb thing, but like it really like when I played Persona 5 Strikers, which for me was always I was like, oh, this is cool because it's more of like a Muso style hack and slash thing. But I kid you not, I had to play for about 40 minutes of just like going back and forth and speaking to someone. And then the worst, you know what? This is pet peeve time when they're like, we're going to give you control back. And you walk for 2 seconds, and they're like, "Right now, we've got another cutscene." I'm like,
yeah,
"Why
that's the worst.
Oh yeah,
like, that's the worst.
You want to
tease.
Yeah. So, but to that point on a dodgeball game, like, why? Like, it's not. Yeah.
Maybe they weren't. Maybe they didn't think the dodgeball mechanics would stand up, so they had to throw in this long story.
Solid. I was having fun.
But maybe they were insecure about it. They're like, I don't know if people like dodgeball. Insecure. We got to have some BS drama between the people playing dodgeball.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the Ascent and how much fun I was having in the Ascent.
Yeah.
But I ended up bouncing off of that game, and I think it was for similar reasons, because the moment-to-moment fighting of the twin-stick shooter of Ascent is awesome and super fun and dynamic, and you really got to like pay attention to what you're doing and, you know, choosing the correct weapons to fight robots or like flesh people or all sorts of fun. But where I started falling off is when I started going back to the town and I have to run around doing mindless side quests like, oh, I want you to go plant fungi at these 4 places around the entire world. And then you've done that. Now you have to wait. Well, how long do I wait? Wait
Forever.
until we tell you you can go pick
next,
them. Like,
next Destiny reset.
Yeah.
Can I get back to the fun part of this game? Why are you making me do all this?
It sounds like you might as well
stuff?
go watch a really good volleyball anime.
Any recommendations?
No, that's the part I don't like.
Well, you can play your volleyball match and then load up another episode of the good story from an anime and pretend it's the same world. That seems like
I don't know. Like I'm not the target audience for the academia part of this, but the dodgeball part, I am definitely I loved the dodgeball games on the NES, Super NES, even on there's a bad one on the Neo Geo that I still love. So I was kind of excited. I'm like, oh, sweet. Somebody made a new dodgeball game. Sign me up. You know, it's good, mindless, simple fun. Kind of like playing like Mario Golf or something. But man,
it's rough.
I'm sure other people are going to love that part of it, but man, not for me.
Yeah, there could be people who are only interested in the story. Like that dodgeball drama really got them. They're like, oh, I got to play dodgeball now.
Not for me out of 10.
Yeah. 100%.
I played a bit of Ascent as well with memes, actually, couch co-op.
What'd you think?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We didn't quite get to the part though where actually any story stuff, we were just kind of like mash. Yeah. I don't care. This stuff's gone bad. I get it. We got to shoot some stuff. But as a co-op game, it's actually really fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it's a fun. The action is really fun and really, really inventive. I think where that game kind of starts to lose me is when I have to go back to town and start interacting with people and doing stuff like that. It just gets a little.
The town looked impressive though. the game, like the
great,
visuals,
yeah.
It was surprising. I was like,
It
looks nice.
Crazy looking.
Yeah, that was really cool. And it was on Game Pass, so I was like,
I realized I did forget something that's coming out this week.
Oh boy.
And that is the Tales of Arise demo is on the 18th.
It's so good as well.
Oh man, this game is gonna be it's gonna be a banger. It's, for anyone who don't know, it's an action RPG. The Tales series has been going for a very long time, and this is kind of the first time that they're releasing in the West at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're giving a demo on consoles. The demo's not coming to PC.
Are these self-contained stories or are they continuations?
Yes, self-contained. Yeah, every Tales game is all like set their own separate story.
So if I've never played it, I could jump in and get full experience.
Definitely.
This is actually probably a good place to jump in because it's kind of like what they're doing. You know, there's like quite a lot of like studios in more recent years where they're like, you know, Japanese studios are like, we're going to try and sort of finally break the West with like, we're going to make some changes and stuff like Monster Hunter World and different things like that. So this is their attempt to do it because although it's had, you know, Tales of series has had a pretty strong Western following anyway. Like, I mean, I love the Tales games like Vesperia, Symphonia, two of the ones that I think are the best ones. But you know, like what's said, like some of them were used to release in Japan first, obviously comes over here. So it's kind of a little bit sort of like spread out and split. But yeah, this one they're definitely trying to, even like mechanically speaking, like the mechanics in Tales games are really cool because it's got combat wise, it's quite different because it works around like a real time system. But you run around the open world, you see enemies like in person, but then once you collide with them, you then go into a battle sequence, but you're still controlling your characters. And combat's always like felt pretty cool in Tales games. Like you've got like combos and you can kind of mix different abilities. So it's like really, really cool. It's kind of why it resonated with me because I've never really been a turn-based person. So I find that the fact that I've got like the real-time control of my characters is really cool. But with this one, they're definitely trying to sort of go more kind of Western appeal. So the game itself is, they're calling it like wide linear. So obviously while you can still explore, it's not going to be like, they're still trying to sort of tell you like an experience. They've added in some stuff like counter mechanics and dodge mechanics that kind of weren't previously present. Try to sort of streamline some of the stuff while still keeping the core Tales DNA. It plays fantastically. I've had a chance to play a couple of preview remote sort of sessions, and it just like it feels so cool in combat. Like once you start getting the arts, which like your special abilities for your characters, and you start juggling enemies and combining these abilities, like it just looks fantastic.
Cool.
So I would highly recommend it.
And the game is just very pretty. It is a very pretty game. I'm excited to see what it looks like on my PS5.
Yes.
Is it only on PS5 or is it coming on Switch as well?
No, sadly, just PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. No Switch for this one.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to play.
I've never heard of this game before, so I just Googled it. And I'm watching your video on it. It almost looks like a PS3 game with like high res to me. Am I crazy? Like it looks like really low poly counts.
It's got it might just be like the visual style for it. It's got a that kind of sort of like watercolor style sort of visual thing. So it looks really nice, like in motion as well. It depends on which video you're watching, because some of them it might have been when I like download YouTube.
You're in like a cave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I'm
gonna check it out.
Watching on 480p.
This whole time.
He's like, whoa, god damn it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Looking
so demo, demos usually have how much content for those type of games?
Oh, so this one specifically, it'll be what I got to play at the previous preview event. So this one, it will jump you forward a little bit, and basically you'll have access to the kind of complete party, and you'll be able to sort of choose the character you want to control for that particular thing, and you get to play for. I'd say this demo, like if you kind of just do the main things, runs about half an hour. You could basically kind of go through, you start fight some things in the world, you speak to someone, they give you a quest, you go fight a boss. But within that area you can explore, you can kind of go off of like a few different areas, open some chests, unlock some items. So you could easily get like an hour's playtime out of it comfortably, and then it will loop you back in, and then you could choose a different character to play as. Because when you're in the game normally, organically, you can obviously switch who you control, and then obviously other people are still in your team. But in the demo, you kind of just pick it at the beginning. So yeah, I think there's definitely like some decent replay in it. So
okay, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out and see if I like it, and then I might pick it up. Actually, when's the official release date? Did you say? I didn't hear you if you did.
September, I believe. I might have got this one at Eastward.
September 9th.
16th?
Oh,
9th, yes.
9th, yeah. September 9th.
Cool.
Ooh, yeah.
I've been playing a game.
Oh. What is that
Called,
A little romance simulator?
Called Boyfriend Dungeon. It is on Game Pass. So when
it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. It's a dungeon crawler dating sim where you date your weapons.
I mean,
so
what more could you ask for, right?
World,
well, if I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times, right?
So in this
the old
world,
date your weapons trope.
You're either a person who can turn into a weapon, or you're a person who can't do that, and you're called a wielder. You wield those people that can turn into weapons to go to the dungeon and make money, pretty much.
Wow. It's just a cash grab?
Apparently it's the hottest new workout trend in California.
Really?
Is what I was told.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, that's what they say in the game. So
oh my God.
you find new weapons as you go along, and then also your cousin sets you up on dates to kind of get new weapons as well. And it's actually kind of amazing and really well done.
So you're kind of like a weapon slut is what's going on? Just like
whoa.
Until you find the one you want to dedicate.
Playing all the weapons, you know?
You can choose to date everyone if you want.
Wow.
But
Swords
the writing
can have as many wielders as they want.
Well,
you know, if you look at the vault, my vault in Destiny, I'm definitely a weapon slut. So
it's a game. So I saw it and I was like, it was just a cute kind of trailer that I saw. It was like, oh, go to the dungeon, fight enemies, get loot, date your weapon, and I was like, what? And they said it was on Game Pass. And I was like, I'm not going to look up anything else about it. I'm just going to try it. And the writing is really, really funny. I think it's super well done. Also, they've done a really good job at kind of making sure players are happy in accessibility types of ways. So right at the beginning, they say there's a character that's going to text you sometimes called Mom. Is that okay? And I loved that they asked, like, is it okay that this character called Mom texts you? Because I can totally imagine that maybe you've gone through something bad recently and you just want to play a game and get away from your sadness and you don't want to be reminded of that. So I really like that they're very proactive with doing progressive things.
Sensitive developers.
Sensitive developers. Soy developers.
Oh my God.
But it's genuinely really fun. All of the swords have all of the weapons, because they're not all swords. There's brass knuckles in there. There's a scythe. There's a lightsaber. So
is the scythe pretty goth?
Axe. I haven't met him yet, but he seems kind of sensitive from what I heard.
Emo goth, you know.
I was hoping he was going to be an emo boy, an emo
buckles.
sad boy who loves anime and has bandages, but he's not. But I found a lightsaber whose name is Seven, and he's a very attractive sad boy, so I'm making him fall in love with me.
Okay.
Yes. But before this, I was getting a woman.
You can make him sadder when you eat him.
Eat the lightsaber.
But the way they interact these two things of like going on dates and then also going to the dungeon is as you get to know them and you level up your relationship with them, you unlock abilities on their weapon. So the more you're dating someone, the better their weapon is.
The better they perform in battle.
In battle.
Sounds like a lot of work. And now I got to maintain relationships with my shit. Like, oh, I didn't call my iPhone back last night, so now you won't.
Yeah. And
listen,
I don't go on the internet anymore.
Listen, Briar, the reason why you're Mr. Broke is because you've been neglecting it. Okay, spend some more time with your Mister.
It's true. It's true.
I haven't taken it out to dinner in like 2 months.
That's the problem. And there's it's you can also craft this crafting. You can make outfits. You can customize your character. You can make gifts to give them. You can go to operas. You can do whatever.
What kind of gift does a sword like?
Depends what their personality is. Like this, like Seven, I gave him eyeliner because he's a K-pop idol and he really liked it.
Where on a sword does...
He's a person as well, Briar.
Oh.
He's a person who turns into a weapon.
Yeah, what's the lore
I didn't get
behind
that part.
what's the lore behind these persons suddenly transforming into a weapon of authority?
I don't know. I think it's one of those typical things where some people have powers, some people have like mutant powers or something, and society's gotten to the point where some people have the powers and some people don't. So I think
like
it's
X-Men?
a situation like that. Kinda. They can turn into weapons.
Naturally, okay.
If you could turn into a weapon, what weapon would you turn into? Can't say nunchucks. I called it.
A giant hammer.
Mjolnir. Right?
Even bigger than that.
Yeah.
I want to be like one of those big ass hammers you have to drag across the floor. Like,
yes, that's a fun one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
A two-hander is what you're saying. Got it.
A gym bro hammer, basically.
It might have to be super boring and say a scythe. That or scythe, the two daggers.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
cool,
Like
too.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Can I go like high tech? Become like some militarized
Like
drone?
a laser gun?
Like a drone?
Ooh,
Aerial strike drone?
That got dark.
You don't want to take that guy to the dungeon. He'll also blow you up. But yeah, it's on Game Pass. I think it's worth checking out. I think immediately it's really charming and it's funny, and there's so many situations where you're like, God damn it, yelling at stuff, and you're like, yeah. And the dating part is really fun and silly. The writing's good. So I've been having a blast with it.
It's
Nice.
Downloading on my PC right now.
Yeah.
Is the dungeon aspect like actually fleshed out? Or is it just kind of like, there's like dungeons, but
You go in, the whole premise behind it is that the dungeon shows you what you're fearful of. So our character is apparently afraid. I say the 90s.
Eject.
I say that they're afraid of the 90s because there's flip phones, there's VHS tapes, there's rotary phones, and
Jinko
there's TVs,
jeans.
very
Jinko
old
jeans.
TVs. It's
A lot of sweaters. And flannel.
It's obviously not as fleshed out as just a dungeon game, but you go from you can keep going forever, pretty much. You can just keep going, and then on certain floors there's bosses, and then there's routes that you can go off to that are secret routes that get you new loot or new things to craft and stuff like that. So it makes me want to explore, because I've explored and I found recipes for a different outfit. I got a recipe for an anime shirt. That was great. I made it.
Nice.
What is the recipe for an anime shirt? It's like 2 parts onion to 1 part Gatorade.
Maybe a Japanese maid cafe type of thing.
Watermelon Oreo.
Yeah.
That was exactly the recipe. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Wait, is a watermelon Oreo a thing?
Probably in Japan.
I hope so.
You believe it,
That
right?
That sounds like a fantastic
Like it could
thing.
be.
I mean, I like watermelons. I like Oreos. So
I wouldn't be surprised if there's Oreo likes to do a whole bunch of crazy flavors to get people
They do
back
a
to
lot
the
of
original
crazy
flavor.
flavors.
They're
I
like,
hope so.
Trying to be Kit Kat.
yeah. They're trying to reinvent
Watermelon
the game.
Oreos are a thing.
Oh.
What?
Lady Gaga branding on them.
Oh, they're a Lady Gaga Oreo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
They don't have chocolate cookies. They have I don't know, vanilla cookies, and the pink and green is the cream filling.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Can I get these on Amazon? I'm gonna find out.
So yeah, play Boyfriend Dungeon. It's on Game Pass. It's free,
Nice.
basically.
If you get the Lady Gaga ones, they have hearts on them.
Oh wow.
So you probably
Even
want
better.
those ones.
I
Right?
think it's
You wanna get those ones.
I would, yeah,
Better
but
get those
unfortunately,
ones.
I think it's a US only thing. So alas,
Oh
I cannot.
no.
Damn. Oh well.
Yeah, the United States is kind of the experiment ground for, weird stuff, flavors. and all
Oreos?
that. To
I
then
always
send
thought
it across to other
Twix and
places.
Oreos were doing all sorts of weird shit in Japan. I think they're like going mad scientist over there.
True.
Like Twix is doing things with like mint and I don't know,
Wasabi.
tofu. Yeah. Like
The
what?
hell?
Shrimp tempura
No,
Twix.
Mm. I can smell the iodine.
Sounds lovely.
You know what I've been playing?
Which
is random, but this is what I've been playing this past week. Mario Rabbids. This game came out in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sequel's coming out soon, isn't it?
Do they have a sequel that's in the works?
Yeah,
I know there was
announced
DLC.
it, I think. Yeah, they announced it this summer.
Okay. When this game,
wow. Well, Tefty's ready.
When this game first came out or was announced, the Rabbids, I was like, what the hell? This looks weird. Like, why wouldn't I just play XCOM? And then, I was playing XCOM on the Switch, and I was enjoying it. And then it got difficult, as XCOM usually does. It gets annoying, And then I was like, man. And I actually bought Mario Rabbids on a sale, and I hadn't played it yet. So I was like, maybe it's time to give that a shot. And then it turns out it's actually a really fun game. It's
super fun.
It's super fun.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well thought out. I mean, it's obviously easier than an XCOM because you get all this freebie crap. Like you get to slide and hit the characters, you get to jump off of people, and sometimes you hit the enemies again with that. And then they give you kind of like a lot of freedom to try different combos of stuff. So it's really fun in that sense. And the exploration side of going through the different island parts, you know how like most Mario games, they start out with World 1, which is usually like a green, lush world, and then it goes to like a desert world, then an ice world, then like a spooky-ish type of thing. Like that's what I'm currently going through, or then ending in like Bowser's dungeon or something like that. That's what I've been currently kind of just working through, and it's been a lot of fun, just kind of casually playing it from time to time, do a few rounds. And I find myself wanting to go back and do the challenges now that I've upgraded characters, because the characters have like skill trees to do more interesting stuff. And then you can buy better weapons, and then they have like things to, explode people faster and all that. It's actually really fun. I was surprised.
That was pretty close to a launch game for the Switch, right?
Yeah, 2017. Launch, I did not realize that it was 2017. It felt like, again, I feel like between 2015 and 2000, maybe 18, 19, my whole time schedule framework in my mind is skewed because of like basically exclusively playing Destiny, So things that came out, like I had forgotten about completely, and I feel like they're in different parts of time than when they really came out. So it is surprising. It was like 3 months later or something, right? And then Mario Rabbids came out.
Yeah, it's interesting too because it's developed by Ubisoft, not by Nintendo.
Yes.
So it has all the Nintendo characters, but it's an Ubisoft developed title, so that you don't see that too often, right?
Yeah.
But it's super fun to play XCOM with like the Mario characters.
It's great.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just kind of fun, like it's got like a lightness to it. And you're right, it is easier than an actual XCOM game.
Yeah.
Which is great if you just want to relax and play some XCOM.
It's like very fun, relaxing. Like you can see how the puzzle works type of XCOM style Mario game. Whereas XCOM, you are expecting to get bent over around every single turn because that's how it's set up. Is to screw you constantly.
I love XCOM, but man, it's hard. Like it can be frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, you'd be like, you missed a 95% shot. That's it.
Yeah,
reload.
There should be no such thing as like an 80% shot or higher. They should just always connect because it's just so frustrating when they don't.
In Mario Rabbids, it's always 50%, or it's 0, 50%, or 100%. Those are the only options. So for
that's
sure.
Cool. Yeah,
for sure if like if things are gonna hit, they're gonna hit. Yeah, I've been enjoying.
I bought that game for my kids when we first got the Switch.
Yeah,
and they no interest in that game. They had no interest. So I was like, "Oh, I'll check it out." And I ended up loving it. Like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's like DLC too that I'm gonna check out.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, DLC came out a bit ago. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I actually didn't realize there was a sequel that's been in development. Which before I'd have been like, Mario Rabbids, come on. Why would I play this game?
What am I, 3?
Yeah, what am I going to do with this baby game?
Yeah. And here I am like a week later being like, this game's actually pretty fun.
Now the Smash kids not want to play a strategy game.
Yeah. True. And then I actually saw that Moonlighter was on sale. I haven't played that yet.
Oh, that game is so good.
Yeah, it came out last year, right?
Love that game. It's so cool.
Yeah, you had mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the games that are coming out this week, and I was going to say, I was like, yeah, actually, it was on sale and bought that last night. Actually, so I'm going to check that out pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, for anyone that hasn't played it, just the concept is imagine Zelda paired with a roguelite, but you're a shopkeeper. So you go into the dungeons and then you defeat enemies, and all the stuff that you obtain from them, you then put in your bag, and you then take it with you, and you go back to your shop. You then open the shop the next day, and you sell your items.
Oh man,
and then
that sounds so fun!
This sounds like I'm gonna love it.
God damn it!
But the thing is, right? It's cool because it's a fun sort of take on like a different sort of take on the typical sort of roguelite thing. Because like normally in a roguelite you lose it and you lose your progress.
Right.
Obviously now if you go deep into a dungeon and you die, you lose what's in your bag, and your bag is what you used to sell in your shop. So you have a different kind of attachment. You're just like, no.
Right.
And then, but the really cool thing about it is that when you set your shop, you set the market value for stuff. So you'll then be like, I think these skeleton bones are worth X coins. But then the customers will come in and you'll observe them and be like, and then someone will either be like, I'm not paying this, and they'll be a bit disgruntled, or they'll snap it up and you'll be like, did I sell that too cheaply? And then you can look in your logbook and then you can start to work out the appropriate value for like items and be like, if I sell it just above here, they'll snap it up and I'll make a profit. Whereas if I sell it too high, they're going to get disgruntled. And it's really cool. It's so like, I honestly, it's also got some. Actually, I haven't been back yet, but it's got some DLC.
Nice.
But yeah, fantastic game.
Very cool. Yeah, it's got a really cool art style too.
Me.
Yeah. That was. I saw the roguelite thing. I didn't realize that's what you do. You bring back the stuff as a shopkeeper. So
for some reason that gets me excited. Bringing back stuff
me too.
to make. I don't know why. Bringing stuff back to my shop and then opening it up and selling it sounds great.
Being like, here's my wares. If you have some coin, you can have my wares.
Yeah, I love it. I actually completed a game this week as well. I when I was away last week, I took my Switch with me, and then I had like basically I just downloaded all the indie games that I hadn't like completed for a while. I was like, I'll pick something to play while I was there. So I started by playing Lego Builder's Journey.
Okay.
Which is the new Lego puzzle game.
Yeah.
I played the whole game without sound because I was on the train. I didn't have my headphones and I didn't want to be obnoxious. So I basically played without sound. I gathered, I don't know, because I literally have not gone back and tested the sound. I'm not sure whether the game narrates anything or tells you anything. So I've had to interpret the story along the whole way. There's no subtitles. My understanding is that like you are like a father-son duo who like go to work and do stuff, and then suddenly you get separated, and then like the kid goes and gets sucked into a weird world, and then you're basically trying to navigate your way around to solve puzzles, and then you get reunited. So it's kind of a happy ending sort of thing. But but it's just the puzzle. It's just a really nice looking game. Obviously, if you play it on PC, it's actually got like RTX and stuff on it. Right. It's just like kind of got some very very cool. And it's just like it's quite a nice, chilled, relaxing puzzle game. There's none of it's like especially difficult because it's not one of those ones where there's like a fixed way to complete the puzzle. It's more like you just have to get from the start to the end. So I guess it's kind of like puzzle meets Lemmings, and you basically just have to construct and stack bricks to be able to make your character walk to the end. And then you get like progressively different, so you get some different mechanics and stuff. But it's a super short game. I think I completed it in about 3 hours, give or take. So it's not like much to it. It's quite fun.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that game and I was considering buying it for the PC, but then I saw that the playtime is actually only 2 to 4 hours on that. Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to jump in, especially with the cost for just a 2 to 4 hour experience. And that was like, I saw one of the main complaints because it looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, with the whole puzzle stuff like that. That is something that I love, those type of games, especially Lemmings, like all-time favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones, it's kind of like we had this sort of similar discussion when Ratchet and Clank came out. It's a weird thing because you're right. For the price, being 2 to 4 hours is super short. But
What's
at the same time, I'm not too sure. I bought it without looking at it, so I'm not actually too sure.
I think it was a $40 game, right?
It's I think let's have a look.
Could be wrong.
Builder's Journey on Steam. Well, it's currently 20% off on Steam, but it's still $16, which isn't too bad.
Oh, maybe it was only $20.
Yeah, but it's but I do feel like mechanically because of the puzzle aspect to it, there's only so many things you can do. Like there are some interesting different mechanics where you kind of get some of the puzzles later on. You're working with machines where depending on where you place something, they duplicate bricks. So you can do some like fun things later. But I do feel like towards the end of my like 2-3 hours, I was like starting to get a little bit bored of the kind of repetitiveness anyway. So I don't feel like it would have benefited from being longer. But yeah, if anything, if people are like looking at it and they're like, oh, I'm not sure about the price right now. I mean, the fact that it's hasn't been out too long, but like on Steam, it's already dropped down. They've got a 20% off on it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a cool game. It's a cool game.
I hope they take something like that and make it sandboxy, where they keep on adding new puzzles over time. That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would make me want to like jump in and be like, oh, look at all these cool puzzles I can attempt.
It was definitely very different to what I expected, though, because when I first sort of saw it, I was thinking to myself initially, like, oh, okay, cool, Lego bricks, puzzle kind of thing. I imagine it'd be one of those ones where there's like the actual fixed puzzle element to it. Because it's almost like, although there is a puzzling degree to it, I wouldn't even like, when I thought about it initially, I was like, all right, it's going to be one of those things where you have to arrange bricks in a very particular way in a puzzle manner, and that's how you complete the stage. But it's not. It's very much like, it is a lot more sandboxy in that regard, where there's some places where I just bodged together like a really, really busted, broken bridge, and the character's like, I'm going to walk there. I'm like, oh, I made it work, whereas I could have done it better. So I guess in that respect, I call it like light puzzle. It's kind of like puzzle meets, as the name, like puzzle meets like builder, as opposed to like hardcore puzzle.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of the bridge builder games. There's a bunch of those. One of them was the Portal edition, which has like characters and obviously portals from the video game Portal, and where you got to build like these rickety bridges and jumps to try and get like a cart from like A to B. And usually the most fun comes in making it as rickety as possible. Just to...
True.
That's great. Cool. Well, anything else this week?
I don't think so. I think next week is we obviously got a load of games this week, and then next week there is also No More Heroes 3 coming out as well. So looking forward to that.
Want to tell us a little bit about No More Heroes?
How do you describe this game? It's like because the first one came out on the Wii, I think. It's just like it's a Suda 51 game. So obviously Suda 51 people might know previously for things like Killer 7. It's really, really wacky. Like you play as a guy called Travis Touchdown, who's like I think in number 1 he was like an ex-assassin. And then there were those people that were like sent to sort of kill him, and you basically have to go off and defeat them before they defeat you, kind of thing. But it's like an open world game. He's a massive fan of wrestling, so when you kind of do like combat, you've got like a beam saber paired with loads of melee combat, and like you perform like wrestling moves, and it's kind of almost like over the top GTA. I'm really not good at describing these games. That's too wacky. Like it is when the game is so off the wall. It's like, how do I? You know what? Let me pull up a blurb.
You gotta pull up a synopsis.
That's what I need. No More Heroes 3, right? Is an upcoming action adventure game. It's a hack and slash game as well. It's the 4th installment in the franchise and the 3rd entry. Where the player assumes the role of the professional assassin Travis Touchdown, who must climb to the top of the galactic superhero rankings. The game marks the return to the series' open world format, lasting in the first game, so you get to obviously explore wherever you want, and you get to explore a man-made metropolis, taking on various side activities such as part-time jobs, mini games, defense missions, which is normally in the previous games what you used to do in between missions to kind of accrue like things while you're waiting for things to activate. It says here, unlike past games, the open world is split into 5 unique islands, one of which includes the series staple fictional city Santa Destroy. You can traverse between the various... combat plays out like a hack and slash game in real time. And the synopsis. Oh, here we go. 8 years before the start of the series, a young boy named Damon Riccatello goes to the woods at night to launch a makeshift rocket when he encounters an injured small alien named Jess. Or more commonly known as FU, pronounced Fu. Apparently, he decides to take care of this alien, hiding him from the government, who are also investigating him. And then, while searching for a way to return Fu to his planet, they become best friends, forming a strong connection. And after discovering a piece of alien technology at the crash site, Damon is imbued with alien powers and assists him in building a spaceship. They say goodbye to each other, depart, and then they promise to return 20 years later, and that is basically where the game begins. He's then now an adult, and then he comes back to destroy the world, and you've got to stop him. Something like that.
Intergalactic.
Makes sense to me.
Intergalactic buddy cop tale. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like looking at the synopsis has made it no more clear than my attempt to explain the game.
Seems that they also don't know how to explain the game.
Yeah, people just describe it as a wacky open world.
Just cause with the
I'm
aliens.
looking forward to it though. I played the first one. The first one was cool. I didn't play the second one as much. There were the only one downfall is that in the first one there was like some of the mini games you had to go and like mow the lawn, which was quite boring.
Ooh, fun!
Exactly.
If your mini game is something that people get paid to do. Although farming simulator is a thing. Actually, isn't lawnmower simulator a thing?
Yeah, lawnmower.
It is.
Broman plays like lawnmower simulator and power wash simulator all the time. He's loving it.
I have a power washer and a lawnmower. He should come over. I get a nice clean house and a nice freshly cut lawn.
Imagine that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess that's SideQuest, right? Do we complete everything?
I think that's everything.
High score?
SideQuest complete.
Bring.
Bring.
Awesome. Well, shout out to everyone hanging out and listening and watching, and thank you very much to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs. Eric's, anything specific this week that you're gonna be doing on the channel?
This week is Ghost of Tsushima for me. Apart from that, just normal games till then. But yeah, Ghost is basically the main focus this week.
Cool. Briar, how about you?
Yeah, I'll be playing probably Blasphemous. I finally got a physical copy of Blasphemous. I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if people probably don't know this, but the physical edition came out from limited run and was available in Best Buy for a short period of time. But when they sold out, like prices for this game for a physical copy for the Switch were like $120, like minimum.
Wow.
But they re-released it, or they came out with the deluxe edition, which had a wider release. So I was pretty excited.
Nice.
So I'm replaying Blasphemous right now until Ghost of Tsushima comes out.
Got it. Nice. Yeah. Watts, how about you?
So many things. Well, I'm definitely going to try 12 minutes. We're going to try that out. Of course, it comes out the day before Ghost of Tsushima, so I won't be able to play it for like an extended time, but we can play it for a day and see what we think about it, experience some of that, and then, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima time it is. I'm going to finish, well, I don't know about finish, but I am going to be playing Boyfriend Dungeon until the next thing comes out. Because it's a game where I don't feel too bad like putting it down, it's like that's okay.
That's how you gonna treat him like that?
I can disappear.
Gonna drop
him and leave him, Watts.
I don't need to read
like
an end of the story, okay? Although I have really been wanting to go back on a date with Seven as soon as possible.
With Seven?
His name. That's his name.
Star Wars
dude.
He is
a sword. Oh, he's the Star Wars dude.
He is a lightsaber. Yeah. Although they call it a laser
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, is there a Jar Jar thing in there?
I hope so. If there is, I'm downloading it right now.
No, I specifically want to know what this dude's stance is. Like, I want to know if I approve of this relationship. Like, if she.
Well, all I know.
To date my friend.
He likes horror movies.
Nope. It's already bad. Get rid of it.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Find someone that likes like mowing the lawn, going fishing.
I think I found that guy, and then he left town. So
how's he taste?
He looked pretty delicious. He was a bigger boy. He looked like he's got some tasty meat.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think it's safe to say we're all excited about Ghost of Tsushima. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
I'm gonna take so many more pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
PS5, 4K.
On
PS5, 60 FPS, 4K.
Looks amazing.
Take 2 pictures for every 1 picture you could have taken on the
60 FPS screenshots. I can't wait.
And we're gonna have to jump into Legends content.
Yeah.
Especially when Gambit comes out.
I'm already there. I'm already playing it right now.
You're doing it.
All right. Well, that's the show. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week and see you for DCP Live later in the week. And Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.